Hey guys, Shamo here, Master Trainer at the Indianapolis Healthplex. This is Functional Training and Therapeutic Fitness. Welcome, so glad to have you today. So excited that you could join us. Today, we're going to be focusing primarily on really looking at the single-legged exercises. So we're going to be focused on unilateral leg training. And we're going to try to work on the hip and the glutes, posterior chain, the low back, hamstrings, and upper back. Again, what we're trying to focus on is look at some of these correctional exercises we can do to help us be better athletes, work out better in the gym, move better in life in general. So again, we're really focused on these complex compound systems. And today we're going to be doing these just body weight. I'd like you to join me with just body weight today. Again, really trying to focus on quality form, technique, and function, looking at perfect reps when we do this. And then always, some of these tools that we can utilize, this is great right now while we're at home, if you're traveling on vacation, if you are in the gym when you want to warm up. These are great warm-up exercises, particularly if you're into heavier lifting, Olympic lifting, a lot of CrossFit kind of training. These are things that are going to benefit us greatly. So we kind of bring it all together. So we're going to start today. We always want to start with that dynamic warm-up, because again, our bodies, are going to function much better. You start to warm up those muscles, you get the joints warmed up, and they're going to get more pliable and give us a better range of motion. Now, always remember that the warm-up is going to help us prevent injury, which is so vital and so important. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and do a dynamic warm-up here, okay? So we're going to start with that anatomical correct position. So what I want to do is squeeze the glutes. My ankles, knees, and shoulders are in alignment. Palms are forward. Retract your scapulas and pull them back and down. Open up the chest. You really feel that contraction in the posterior chain. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring my arms up into flexion. Feel that stretch. Kind of stretch the shoulders and the lats, make yourself tall. Keep squeezing those glutes. I'm going to go down now. Grab my ankles. Carefully sitting back into a squat position. Okay, remember, to get some of those isometric positions, we can really focus on technique and form. Let's go ahead and rotate that trunk. Open up. Okay. And then we're going to go open up the left side. Okay, down and carefully squat back up. Good start. Now, a lot of these exercises, particularly compound, unilateral exercises, we're working on balance and proprioception. Okay, so as we go today, I'm going to give you both frontal and sagittal viewpoints. But we're also going to work in that transverse plane again. So I've got 3 leg exercises that I want to demonstrate today. They're going to be terrific for your program. We can do these at home and you can really feel the benefit. Now, the unilateral single-legged exercises are going to really help train your balance. Okay, so we're working on balance and stabilization, which a lot of times in fitness can get overlooked. So we're going to start today with our split squat. So I'm going to give you first a sagittal view. So if you notice that I got here, I've got my ankle, knee, shoulder in alignment. And follow me at home. And you're back on that back toe. Now make sure my back toe is straight ahead. You want to get a good split. I've got a lot of weight on the heel of my front foot. I'm going to take a deep breath. Remember, breathing is so important. Okay, so I'm going to shift down through my heel and take my time. We're going to go 10 repetitions here. You can tap your knee, and that's great too. Notice I'm keeping a good position and really focused on that Q angle on the leg. So I'm making sure that my knee doesn't collapse inwardly. So I'm keeping it out. This is really firing quad and gluteus medius, which is a primary hip stabilizer, which we really need. That's a common problem for a lot of people with posture. I'm gonna relax there. So again, we're always gonna try to do 10 really good reps as the best you can do with those 10 reps, really keying on form. Yeah, so learning how to fire the glutes, putting our body in a good position is gonna really be beneficial. And again, as you're going through these exercises, try to think about, is my left or my right different? Do I feel stronger on one side? Do I feel balanced on one side? Because a lot of these things can throw the pelvis off. So the ASIS, the hip bones, a lot of times your pelvis can get knocked out of alignment, okay, if you've got a muscle imbalance. So everything we're trying to do is really coordinate that and try to strengthen both sides, okay? See if we can get a conversation. I'm gonna give you a frontal viewpoint now. So again, you can see, check out my alignment. Got the trunk is up, back toe, focus on that heel. I don't have to necessarily, I can touch the ground if I want. I'm trying to get a good position, taking my time through the movement pattern. Majority of my weight is on that front heel. I'm constantly breathing. Remember, when you're doing these exercises, if I get any pain, I want to stop immediately, okay? Pain is that check engine light going off. We don't want to fight through pain. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more. If I want to challenge myself a little bit, I can get a good isometric hold in the bottom. Feel that stretch. You know, feel the legs kind of firing and good. So that's a great opening leg movement there. Okay, that's the split squat, one-legged squat. So good start. That definitely is a good challenging motion. Stretches the psoas out, the iliopsoas, iliacus, some of these anterior muscles around the pelvis and the hip that tend to get tight. You know, we work on going down to the floor today to work on the posterior chain in the back, which back pain is the #1 issue in America, where, you know, addressing the hip is so essential for that as well. Building that stabilization. That's going to help us prevent injuries. That's going to help us prevent back pain. Most importantly, it's going to help improve our posture. I'm going to give you a sagittal viewpoint now of the stiff-legged, one-legged deadlift, which some people call the RDL. Okay, so what I want to do here is, and now this is a major balance exercise if you're home. If you need to grab a chair to hold yourself to support, feel free to do that, because this is a very challenging exercise for balance. What we want to do is called a soft knee. Soft knee in the front, I'm going to have a soft knee in the back, okay? Bent leg in the back. Both my arms are out here in front of me today, so I'm going to, trunk's going to go into flexion. I'm going to come back up, single leg. When I get to the top, I'm going to squeeze that glute, the hamstring. I even pull my scapulas back. Feel that whole posterior chain fire. Again, when you're going through these exercises, take your time and really think about mind and muscle. So I'm coming back down. This one requires a lot of strength, a lot of balance. You're going to fire those glutes and hamstrings. If you need to, you can put that foot down on the floor in between reps if you need to take a break or if you're losing your balance. This is just a really good overall general test of athleticism, proprioception, how strong you are in that posterior chain, and that glute, hamstring, the low back, finishing tall. I'm going to do 2 more for you. Notice how I'm retracting the scapulas up top. Those shoulder blades, pull them together. That's just going to complete the motion. Yeah, woo, that is a burner. And that's it. When you really get those isometric holds and you do these exercises correctly, it's amazing. You don't even need weight. You can really feel things firing. Some of these exercises are designed for movement-based training, which again is essential for good posture. I'm going to give you a frontal view now. See if I can get good position on the screen. Again, softening in the front. Don't want to hyperextend those joints. Okay. Bending my back leg. Coming to trunk into flexion. Coming and squeezing and finish on top. Scapulas. I always like for myself to get a good rhythm when I'm doing these. It really focuses your balance, your strength. It gets to some of those intrinsic stabilizers that are so hard to reach when you're training. It's hard to get those sometimes without getting that recruitment from that balance. Squeezing the scapulas. Again, I can hold down here too, just like I did with that split squat at home. I want to make it harder. Just fire and feel that glute and hammy. And you essentially just light those muscle groups on fire. Woo! I can feel that burn. If you're following at home, I'm sure you can too. That was a burner. Good job. Okay, so that's a single split squat, single-legged deadlift. This is my unilateral leg package. I can do on the beach when I'm on vacation. I can do it in my living room. It's awesome. Or I'm going to do it at the gym before I work out. Remember, a flexible body, a more limber body is a more athletic body. And that's what we really want to focus on. Get that mobility, prevent those injuries, better posture. That's really, now this third series, okay, kind of a newer one. So it's great because I'm going to be giving you, I can give you this, I'm going to give you a sagittal viewpoint, but I'm going to be working in a frontal plane. I'm going to be doing a lateral lunge with a spiral diagonal. So again, every time, as we talked about through this program, we're going to be trying to work in that transverse plane, that three-dimensional plane. It's always great for sport, working the core. I'm squared up now, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down, lateral lunge, trunk rotation, back to neutral. Lateral lunge, trunk rotation, back to neutral. Okay, so when I come to neutral, it's just coming to that, we call it the anatomical correct position. We always want to get there. Okay, that's a kind of a good home base for us. Lateral lunge, trunk rotation. And I tell you, if you're following home, this just feels really good. Lateral lunge, trunk rotation. Oh, and working for that good form, that 10 reps. Lateral lunge, trunk rotation. Kind of, even sometimes if I'm doing these exercises, I'll kind of talk myself through them. Really take your time doing these. That's the number one thing I always, you'll hear me say it over and over and over again. Form, function, technique. Lateral lunge, rotation. Do a couple more. Lateral lunge, trunk rotation. Real quick, when I do that lateral lunge, adductor group, again, abductors in the pelvis. Sometimes those muscles will get overlooked. Okay, and in that three-dimensional plane, training with spiral diagonal patterns. Okay, so we're bringing the rotator cuff into play. A few more here. Again, this is fantastic. If I'm a tennis player and a golfer, we're coming in the season, for golf, if I want to warm up on the golf course, I can do it, right? Get ready. You're going to swing that club over 100 times in any workout, so you want to get ready, get your body prepared. Lateral lunge. Okay, good, great job. So that's my lateral lunge, split squat, single-legged deadlift. Putting that package together. Okay, so that's a great single leg package that we can do You know, particularly if you're tired of doing regular bilateral squats, you're tired of doing bilateral deadlifts, so essential to make sure we don't forget to train the single side, unilateral side. It's going to definitely help us get stronger overall, build balance. So I'm going to work phase 3 here. I'm going to go ahead and work to the floor here. Make sure we're in good position. Good. So what I have here, I'm going to now focus on posterior chain work. So we're going to switch off and we're going to work on the pliability, the mobility, and basically what we're looking at is an anterior and posterior pelvic tilt. But what I want to work here too is flossing the nerves in the spine. So a lot of times the pliability of the spine is so essential. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work myself down here first. I got a great position here. Okay, so notice I'm pushing my soleus and my gastrocs. I'm trying to stretch out the calves. And when I get a good position here, then I'm going to go ahead and move here. This is also known as an upward and downward facing dog. It's a great motion for stretching out the spine, the posterior chain, the hips. That gets so tight. Just working on my breathing. Good stretch overall. We'll do a couple more here. You can hold that position. Really try to push those hips down, get that extension. Okay. That's just a great starting point. We're in what we call a quad position now. So really, what we're trying to do there is go into extension and flexion of the trunk. So really, when you think about it, you're working your abs, okay? When you go into flexion, you're firing transverse abdominis, rectus abdominis. When I go into extension, those spinal erectors are fired all the way up to the cervical vertebrae, all the way down along the spine. So what that does is it flosses the nerves in that back, okay? From a quad position now, I'm going to really focus on pulling my belly button in, via that transverse abdominis, always using the diaphragm, continual breathing. We want to take our time on this exercise here. So I'm going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. I'm going to hold that position for a count. I'm going to alternate slowly. What I like to do, we talk about that isometric hold. Feel the end of that exercise. Get a squeeze, get a hold. Shoulder flexion up front. This is a great exercise for, particularly if you're tighter in the shoulders. Takes balance in the core again. For all our members here at the Indianapolis Healthplex, some of these motions will help you prepare and improve your mobility. And you can compare it to the functional movement screen we utilize as a part of our assessment protocol that is terrific for our clients, for our members. We're kind of addressing those parts of the body. Okay, so that's also called bird dog. It's got a funny name, bird dog. It's from the quad position, the shoulder flexion. Okay, so we're talking about glutes and hips today. Really working, that's kind of my focus today, glutes, hips, single leg. Take that right leg here, straighten it out. I'm gonna go ahead and flex the ankle, okay? I'm just gonna raise that leg up and down. Get that motion. So this is firing the glute, the hamstring, low back. Just another way to do it. Such an area, and it's also going to give a counter effect and stretch out that psoas, those hip flexors. They get tight. Terrific exercise. Let's get 10 good ones on each side. On flip sides here. Okay. Even here, you know, you want to check, am I firing the glute the same way on both sides? It's interesting, throughout my career, if I've had hamstring issues or pulls, if I've injured muscles, some of those things could come into play in film. That's why this is therapeutic exercise. We're utilizing these things to help as correctional exercise techniques to make you better in fitness. And 2 more here. Really feel the burn there in the glutes. Good job. Hope we're following along well at home. Again, this is great because this can be done anywhere. And it's always addressing, because I'll have clients come to me and say, hey, Shane, how do I get loose, you know, to go golfing? How do I get loose for tennis? What can I do at home if I'm getting tight? You know, through the winter time, you got people that are sedentary. If you're sitting in the chair too much, you get sciatic nerve issues, low back issues. So all these exercises are going to help put together a program that can help alleviate those issues and get you back on track. I'm going to do 2 more exercises here. Okay, it's similar to the upward and downward facing dog position we're doing, but I just want to really work on upper cervical and the thoracic here. Again, I'm training those abs. So when I get here, in the top position, pull the belly button into the spine. It's called a vacuum pose. This is great to train your abs at home if you're one that hurts your neck a lot when you're doing sit-ups, or you get tired of hurting and straining your neck. This is a different way to do your crunches. Different way to think about training your abs and flossing your back at the same time as I drop down and opening up that thoracic cavity. We'll do a couple more. And so when I get into that vacuum, the harder I squeeze, you can create that intensity. Boy, you can really get a really strong ab workout there. Rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis. So those things are pulling in, kind of like the effect of a plank. You really feel that burn, and that's really engaging the core. Great way to train the abdominals. Good job. Okay, I'm gonna finish posterior chain here. From this position, from the prone position, we're gonna go into what I call standard Supermans. Okay, so this is a great exercise just to get, you know, things firing again in the upper back, lower back, hamstrings and glutes. So that's been our primary focus here. I just want to put thumbs up. Take my time, get that squeeze. It doesn't take a lot of motion here. Some of us will be more flexible than others, and that's okay. As long as you're firing the primary movers, that's what we're after here. Kind of get that isometric hold. We'll do a couple more here. Okay. Excellent. Okay, great job, everybody. So again, for today, our focus to review, we worked on single leg training. We did 3 primary exercises. So we did split squats, single leg deadlifts or RDLs, and lateral lunge with a spiral diagonal pattern. You'll hear me use that term a lot. Just trying to, the spiral diagonal pattern is designed to get you trained into the 3-dimensional plane we call the transverse plane. We went to the floor. Our focus there primarily was going into flexion and extension of the trunk. And we were trying to fire the gluteus, medius maximus, and some of the primary hip stabilizers. We were trying to dynamically stretch the hip flexor today. It's so important for posture. Okay, and real quick before we close shop, I just want to go over that a little bit. So when we talk about, if you look at me from a side view here, if I have an exaggerated lordosis, okay, that's going to be what we call lordosis, or that low back. That's going to be a problem we see. That usually is an issue of tight hips. Okay, so if I'm assessing posture, we're going to assess posture both from this point of view and from the side. Okay, because we're going to learn a lot from looking at all views of the body and trying to detect if there's issues or problems of postural alignment, so we can find deficiencies. And if you see this is called a kyphosis. If you see that upper spine kind of curved out like this, we call that a hump back. You'll see that. That's usually a result. We get that curvature. That's usually a result. Maybe the pec major minor is tight, upper body. Because I'll think about in life, if I'm in a desk job or my shoulders are adducted a lot in this position, you get more of these muscles are overused. Okay, that's a hypertonic muscle that's overused. So what happens is that muscle gets really tight, then these posterior chain muscles, or the upper extremity muscles, are kind of get overstretched, they weaken. So trying to get out of this kyphotic curve, it open up that chest cavity, get the head in extension, because you'll see that head start to flex forward. So just wanted to talk some postural function there with you. And those are things, again, we're trying to focus on during this functional fitness and therapeutic exercise program. Thank you so much, everybody. I just want to give a shout out to all my coworkers. They're doing an awesome job here at the Indianapolis Healthplex. We love you. We want to be here for you. We love connecting with you. And we're providing you lots of different styles of exercise. We've got professionals here that are ready to serve you, and feel free to reach out if you need to. And thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.